my learning as I age, there are many surprises. But these are a human journey. And just a few days ago, Secretary Bongo called me for a lunch meeting at the guest house together with the clusters of cabinet members. And we were discussing the possibility of hosting. And I was asked by Secretary Bongo and also the very dynamic Secretary Cayetano if there is an opening for hosting. And I said yes.
Thank you, Chairman Ramirez. And then with us here today is Philippine Olympic Committee President, Mr. Cojuangco. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it's a great day today for me. A great day because something very important will happen again in 2019, which is the 30th Southeast Asian Games overall. So, well, from what I gather anyway, this is all through the effort of Secretary Cayetano, who on his own clarified many of the issues that it was disturbing the hosting. And once these issues were clarified, it became easier for everyone to just agree to continue the hosting in 2019. And I can't explain further how important this is to our country. We've seen the effects of 2005 that when we hosted it in the Southeast Asian Games. So again, many thanks to Secretary Cayetano for this effort. And although last minute, I guess everybody will be, I hope everybody will be just as happy as I am. And maybe this will add more impetus for everyone to contribute to this effort, because this is not for PP, this is not for Secretary Cayetano, not for Butch Ramirez. This is for the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I heard you still have a flight to catch going to the Southeast Asian Games, sir.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but flight was delayed 1 hour, so
yeah.
My flight's noon time.
Thanks for coming, sir. And then, finally, the chairman of the SEA Games Organizing Committee, Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary, Alan Peter Cayetano, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Unang-una, answered prayers po na matuloy ang ating hosting, and glory to God na our athletes will have a chance not only to showcase their sports, their talents, but also the new Philippines, which we expect in the next 2 years, and also preparation nila for Tokyo 2020. So, alam niyo, pag pinag-usapan natin ang ating pagiging spiritual, whether we're Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, we always say one body tayo, one family, di ba? Pero there's always something that divides us. And muntik nang hindi matuloy ang hosting for legitimate reasons, no? From security, to issues that affects sports all over the world. But when you talk about sports, what concepts come to your mind? Hindi ba discipline, sacrifice, never say die attitude, or to use a Gilas term, puso, di ba? Tapos yung unity and leadership. So kaming tatlo po na nandito sa inyong harap, we're not perfect. There's going to be a big challenge. Pero para sa bayan, para sa ating athletes, no, para ma-showcase po ang Pilipinas, we will exercise that leadership by example, by being united. No? So if there are people around us, below us, around the country that have some criticism or comments, natural lang yan kasi democracy tayo eh. No? But I am of full faith na si Kong Piping, the President of the POC, and si Chairman Kuya Butch Ramirez will be able to guide me and will be able to help us all, no? To be able to have a very successful hosting. And we special thanks this early to BCDA and to Clark because I think they're making preparations also if we decide to use their facility. So I'll stop there so that you can ask questions dahil may flight nga si Kong Piping para masuportahan ng ating mga athletes sa Malaysia. Thank you, everybody.
So now, at this point, we're gonna open the floor for questions and answer. Mr. Eddie Alinea, sir.
When is the meeting of the SEA Games Federation? Kaya po ang meeting ng SEA Games Federation?
Tomorrow. The council meeting will be tomorrow.
So you will be council meeting. You will be elected as president of the SEA Games Federation.
Yes. I hope so.
Sino pa? Si Secretary organizing committee na hindi na siya pwedeng ma-elect. Anyway, Secretary, this is definitely a victory for sports. Nabotik ng na-sacrifice. No? Is this a manifestation of yung kakayahan ng Presidente na masolve ang Marawi problem and ang kakayahan ng mga Pilipino to rise from the grave again?
Despite there's no question matapang ang Pangulo. There's no question that he is very tough on a lot of things, but he's also a peacemaker. So I do believe that the government is very sincere to protect our people against terrorism. Nakita niyo naman yung hosting ng ASEAN, di ba, na protektahan naman natin ang may 20 foreign minister. Of course, iba yung dami ng athletes at dami ng countries, but as I said, we have 2 years. And, the President and the Cabinet, they respond to leadership and they respond to unity. So, nung nakita nila na nagkakausap kami and yung iba pang mga tao between the PSC and POC, nag-respond din sila na full support. So, Chairman Butch assured me, di ba, na bagamat tight ang budget, we'll use it wisely and we'll get the money that we need. Then there are already people sa private sector. Kumbaga sa foreign affairs, yung old allies and new friends. Ito naman po yung traditional supporters ng sports. Tapos yung mga bata na bago na gusto din mag-contribute. No? So we're trying to reach out to everyone to tell them no contribution is too small or too big. Meaning mag-volunteer ka ng time mo. That's a big contribution already. Mag-vlog ka o lagay mo sa Facebook mo to encourage our athletes, that's a big contribution. Mag-donate ka, meron kang konting kakayahan na mag-donate at magagamit namin sa tama, then we're also welcome. No? So, in the next few days, we're going to meet to put the systems para maging transparent at para nga walang maging problema that happened in other countries or even in our country decades ago.
Coming on the heels of what you said, ASEAN meeting which we hosted, ano po yung significant na nakikita din nyo dito sa hosting ng SEA Games 2019? I mean, as far as our
sa akin, dalawa
relations sa
dalawa. Unang-una, suddenly nasa mapa na ulit ang Pilipinas. Diba? For the longest time, noong 70s, parati yung potential ng Pilipinas, pinag-uusapan. At there was one time we were second only to Japan in the region. And then, for a long time, may mga problema tayo, externally caused, internally caused. But nakita nyo in this last year, ang opinion natin matters, pinapakinggan ng Pilipino. No? Having said that, it's our athletes that bring out the best in the Filipino. Makikita mo pag nasa ibang bansa ang Filipino athletes, sa umpisa kahit hindi pinapalakpakan dahil dun sila sa sarili ng team. But win or lose, people fall in love with Philippine athletes. So what we want to showcase in 2019 talaga is the Filipino through our athletes.
Thank you, sir. Nick Jonko of Manila Bulletin.
Hey, Secretary, good morning. Secretary, you spoke about the most sensitive issue of hosting a game in yung budget. How much is the government willing to spend aside from providing security and other concerns?
Siguro I'll say muna, we will spend not a peso more than is needed, but we will make sure we will not lack a peso of what is needed sa budget. So with your patience, we really have to meet pa about it. Between Kong Piping and Chair Butch, alam naman nila yung usual cost nito. What I can assure you lang in the public, that we will be transparent about it. So, ano manggagaling sa gobyerno, ano manggagaling sa private sector. But chance din to, no? Yung, may I just input this, no? Alam mo kung mag-build yung private sector, let's say sa Clark, napakaraming professional athletes around the world. May winter sila. So for example, football. We know around the world, number one ang football, diba? Sa atin, basketball. And then, of course, football and volleyball and other sports are also doing well. But they spend a lot of money on it. Yung summer or winter camps nila depende. No? So if we can build correctly and have the facilities ready, yung part ng decongesting Metro Manila ilabas, magkakaroon ng iba pang source of livelihood yung mga kababayan natin. And even our athletes, di ba? Nung araw, pag 50 ka, athlete ka, or 40, okay pa eh. Now, they're getting younger and younger and also retiring younger. But they want to continue working in their field of sports. So if we can really expand the capabilities and the facilities of the Philippines, it is something that the PSC and POC really wanted decades ago. So sana maging reality ito ngayon.
Follow up lang, sir. I don't know if pwedeng sumulat. Are we talking about bringing the games outside again, kagaya nung Cebu, Negros, or mainly concentrated din tayo sa Manila? Kasi alam ko parang hesitant yung ibang member nations to go outside of Manila.
I don't think they're hesitant. The only request that I received from some of the members of Southeast Asian Games is that, if possible, they don't want to take a plane from one place to the other. I mean, if we were hosted, we just make sure it's just in one island. That's all they requested. But in answer to your first question, it's been my thinking at the moment, but this has to be, of course, concurred by the rest of the people that are involved, especially the chairman of the organizing committee. I'm thinking of the provinces of Zambales, Pampanga, and Bulacan as the area that could serve best everyone that will be participating. First, it's near the city, but not in the city, will not be devoid of traffic. And plus the fact many of the areas that, if developed, will be the one thing that we all need, which is a training center out of the city where we really actually have fresh air and really a atmosphere good for training. I was in Zambales yesterday, and we checked again the possible site there. There are various sites there that could be suitable. For example, I don't know if you know that Zambales has 120 kilometers of beachfront. That could be useful for any of the water sports, and plus the anxiety of the people there. Of course, you know that the flat track field, and the third one in Bulacan is the Philippine Arena, which of course we have not consulted them, or I've not even asked them, but I think between the three areas we'd be able to put something that would be very attractive to even our hosts, our guests, I mean. Talagang magugulat din sila pagka nandun, because they'll feel at home if you put it in these three places. And then at the same time, tayo naman mga mag-host, we will have enough to entertain them and keep them happy, and also be able to give them the facilities that they would enjoy.
That eliminates na Mindanao and all about it.
Well, at the moment, I think it's quite clear that what we want is really, with the short time that we have, these are areas where I don't think it will take much effort to put things together so that we can host it. If we had more time, maybe in the future. Don't forget there are other games that we can be hosting or asking to host, and that opportunity. Right? I've always maintained. I mean, from the very beginning, I wanted to really host this 2019 in Mindanao, because I want to show the rest of the world that they have a misconception of Mindanao. However, at the moment, because of the tightness of schedule, I think it's better if we go where it's much easier for everyone to put things together.
Thank you, Pong.
Maganda sana sa Mindanao, Kong, dahil first time, may historical value. First time sa Mindanao ito. At ang presidente natin from Mindanao.
Let's look for a better time where we have more time. Kasi, like, for example, we haven't even discussed how we can, the place itself. I'm just suggesting this. This needs the approval of the two people that are here sitting with me.
We're confident na maganda na ang sitwasyon sa Mindanao by 2019. But the problem is you'll have to build it. So from now to then, we don't want to risk the security of building. Tapos kung ma-delay, mapapaya tayo sa hosting. So I think it's very pragmatic to hold it in the areas na sinabi ni Kong Piping, but it still falls within what President Duterte wants, which is outside the metro area, outside Metro Manila, outside Metro Cebu.
Kasi, adlib lang to, 30th anniversary kasi ng SEA Games, yung President Duterte, dapat pwede natin tawagin President Duterte Southeast Asian Games. And the member countries, I'm sure will not support.
Di ba, my idea ko lang, yung by having the hosting in these three provinces, this is close enough for a training center that hindi sasabihin ng mga atleta napakalayo. But at the same time, you get your fresh air, you get the space, and you know, the way things are going now. For your information, Dr. Cameron is arriving and join us in Malaysia. This is the person who asked him to help us develop the sports technique or sport science that we will now try to with our athletes. So we have 2 years to get this going, and if we have these places already, and then we have this individual that can help us, we will be ready to host in 2019 and win the overall championship again.
Thank you, Pong. And the next question will be coming from Edwin Rolyon of Balita.
Morning, Kong. 2019, meron tayong date, yung month na pag-usapan na ba kung kailan natin gagawin?
Well, hindi pa, pero normally we usually look at November, December for weather purposes.
Chairman, yung mga venue po natin na nakita po natin medyo marami pang gagawin. Do you think na malaki gagastos hindi natin sa rehab or magtatayo pa ng panibagong mga venues?
I think one area is to be discussed among the presidents of the sports associations who has the technical knowledge of the venue. That's one. And that will be discussed in the core group. Third, I think we are very good on acquiring, renting, borrowing sports facilities as we did in 2005. We can do it.
Thank you, Chairman. Next question from Peter Paul Patrick Lucas of Sports Radio.
Secretary Cayetano, what was the reason for the sudden change of heart of government to support the 2019 hosting of the SEA Games? How were you able to convince the President to push through with it?
Kasi ang nakikita lang ng marami sa Pangulo yung tapang, yung malasakit, hindi nila na nakikita minsan. So when we presented it to the cabinet cluster and to the people closest to the President, simple lang sinabi namin na ang SEA Games always features the host. It puts focus and it's really tailored na makita yung bansang nag-host, di ba? And then as you know, the President is a fan of sports. Before Marawi, nakakapagpunta pa siya sa basketball, manood. He was supposed to watch yung sa World Championships ng volleyball, but because of the schedule, So, yung malasakit and then yung para sa bayan. So I really like to thank the President, but also, of course, Chairman Butch and POC President Kong Piping, because it wasn't really one man or one person or one woman. And then, nakita kasi natin sa hirap ng mga dinadanas ng mga sundalo natin sa Marawi. Di ba? Or even when Manny Pacquiao, di ba, fights. Tigil lahat eh. Kaya zero crime rate tayo eh. Dahil lahat nanonood, lahat nag-cheer. Tingnan niyo po yung mga Meksikano, maraming nakalaban si Manny Pacquiao na sumikat din or sumikat silang pareho na Meksikano. So nung umpisa, ayaw ng Meksikano kay Manny Pacquiao kasi tinatalo yung mga Mexicans. Pero ngayon, alam niyo, mahal na mahal si Manny Pacquiao sa Mexico. Yun sabi ko yung heart of the Philippine athlete. So I think that got to all of us. No? But it took us near losing it or near giving up the hosting to realize how important it is to host it. No?
Yeah, and karamihan po ng mga gold medalists natin in the past until today, mga military athletes. Anyway, Compeping, it has been a practice that in the Southeast Asian Games Council meeting just before the start of the games, nagkakaroon po kayo ng meeting. So you're supposed to present blueprint or mga sports to be played in the council tomorrow. Ano po itong ipe-present to sila? How many sports do you plan? Huwag na muna yung mga infrastructure, pero the sports to be played, ano pong ipe-present natin tomorrow sa council?
I think more than anything else, the whole council is eager to know whether we are hosting or not.
Ayun lang, hosting muna. Wala pang
And I've received a lot of queries already. I don't know if it has reached them, but many of our people there still don't know of this decision. It's only when you guys come out. So when I get there, I'm sure when I land at the plane in the airport there, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking. I don't think they'll be that anxious. You know, we hosted a very successful 2005 Southeast Asian Games. There were no complaints whatsoever. And I think they'll just be happy to know that we're hosting. At least our friends there. And then on that aspect, they are not anxious to know what we are hosting. Because we proved to them in 2005, we only played one game that is not in part of the Asian or Olympic Games. And that's at least because it's a national sport. Outside of that, we stuck to the Asian Games and the Olympics. That's why up to now, we hear comments coming from them. So why don't we just do it like we did in the Philippines? See, that's one of the things I'm very, very proud of, because we can be proud of that. We hosted a game where there were no comments that why did we not play this or why did we play this. And because my word left to our organizing committee then, I said, I don't want to win any medal or any cup. And place it there and say, we won this when we cheated. And that's going to be the principle that we're going to be doing. And they know that. They know that we're dead set in doing things that way.
Lito Oredo of Bandera.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Secretary Peter. Sir, you mentioned earlier of a new Philippines by 2 years. You have been 2 years. Can you share to us your vision with that of having a sports in the new Philippines?
Well, first of all, yung area, no? Although magbi-meeting pa kami to finalize, but we know that the new Clark City is going to be put up. Sa international, hindi pa nila alam yung Philippine arena. Tapos, ang alam ng international community, yung Boracay, Cebu, Bohol, Palawan, but Zambales is absolutely beautiful, and many people don't know about it. So, a sneak peek, no, to the hidden assets or beauty of the Philippines. Secondly, because some of the facilities will be rented or leased or borrowed, but there will definitely be some facilities that will be built, that will be brand new, na ma-showcase natin. And then, remember, Clark and Subic has a reputation, di ba? Lalo Subic, na we follow the rules there. And then yung pagka sa traffic rules, halimbawa, mahigpit pa rin, etc. So, I'm hoping na yung disiplina na pinapakiusap ng Pangulo sa ating mga Pilipino, I think there's a move now, di ba, na yung no smoking, no, no? So, ang athletes natin, lahat yan, champion dyan. Kasi yung second-hand smoke, dadating din sa'yo. So, that's what I meant by the new Philippines, di ba? Na they see something different. Kumbaga sa tao, tatanungin ka na bakit ka glowing today or ba't iba ang arrive mo ngayon, di ba? Parang gano'n. So that's a challenge for us. No? We can't guarantee it now, but we do have 2 years. So, and a lot can be done. Even in construction, nung araw, 2 years is such a short period. But now, with the technologies available, yeah, if we work hard enough and we get the right breaks, no, then we can get it done.
Secretary, what's your thoughts on being appointed as chairman of the organizing committee?
It's a very humbling situation kasi, you know, I'm a big fan. I play a couple of sports but I'm not great at it. Sa lahat ng magkakapatid, ako lang ang hindi varsity or national team. No, so when I announce it to them, mas shock sila. But, you know, we're up to the challenge and it falls within the domain pa rin naman ng diplomacy. Ang tawag nila internationally dito is soft diplomacy. Diba? So, I'm hoping to get also leaders or at least the foreign ministers or some ministers of the other countries, no, to continue yung nasimulan ni President Duterte dito sa ASEAN. Kung makikita niyo halimbawa sa Europe, di ba, sa football matches, nanonood yung mga prime minister. Yes. Di ba? So, they're very proud of their team. So, the DFA might be able to also benefit, no, from all of this.
Then, Casilio of ABS-CBN.
Secretary, congratulations first of all for the successful hosting of the Asian Women's Seniors Volleyball, which is ending today. So good news for all of us, of course. I just wanted to confirm. So the idea is that most of the venues will be in Luzon, particularly those areas you mentioned, Clark, Zambales, Subic. So there won't be any in Visayas and Mindanao. Is that correct?
We have to finalize everything, but our understanding, even before nagkasundo lahat, is that no plane rides. Kasi mahirap sa coaches.
Right.
Di ba kasi yung opening at closing mo is in one venue. So if the teams have to travel by plane, it's a little bit hirap. I think there's going to be about 400 events, more or less 400 events.
Yeah.
So napakahirap gawin yan kung it's all over. No? But I think the 3 provinces are big enough, no, to feature everything and have the facility.
Yes, because for the water sports, sir, where could we do that? Like windsurfing, wakeboarding in Zambales?
Yes.
We will announce the details as we get there.
Sorry, syempre excited.
No, we're all excited.
Excited. For the venues, so, Chairman Ramirez, you're going to be leasing, just leasing, renovating, and constructing some new. Is that correct?
That will depend on our discussion with the leadership of Secretary Cayetano.
If some appear by itself, why not?
Sir, of course, other concerns that Filipinos are, you know, when they heard about it, already asking me, oh, paano na yung saan titira ang ating mga athletes? Are you going to build an athletes village? Is it going to be hotel-based? And then our roads, of course, the traffic congestion. Will our roads be done by then? And is the Rizal Memorial going to be utilized for anything?
With or without the hosting, yung new Clark City and then yung corridor ng Clark at Subic is a high priority of the Duterte administration. So yung railways going to Clark, going to Bulacan, yung railway going from Clark to Subic, with or without yan. Now with the hosting, yung momentum at it will push kasi meron silang di ba, inaasahan. So as to all the other, then to traffic, no, of course may traffic na rin sa certain parts of Pampanga. And you know, minsan mas mabuting may traffic kaso sa wala outside Metro Manila because it's so buhay na buhay yung area. But then you cannot tolerate naman too much traffic, no. Yeah. That's why if it's held inside Clark, New Clark City, doon walang traffic. And then it's busing people to the other. Tapos yung, it's going to be a mix, I think. I mean, again, we have to meet about it. We have to see what can be finished. No? But
For the athletes' residents.
for the athletes' residents. But dapat may minimum at maximum tayong, may aspirational tayo, di ba? Meaning, if we aspire na ganito karami ang dormitories at iba-ibang klase, may pang professional athlete, may pang amateur, etc., so it can be used in the future.
Right.
No, then we can have our own parang sports training area. There's been some who's been asking na magkaroon ng, kung meron tayong science and technology high schools, meron tayong high schools for the arts, bakit wala tayong sports high school, di ba?
Yes.
Remember sila Father Kaluwag and other people have been pushing for that. No? So, but as I said, we don't want to over-promise or to make people expect na lahat to nandun. So we really have to meet and see what's doable. May minimum kami. Minimum, of course, is may comfortable at convenient na matirhan lahat ng dadating na athlete. It's quite a big number. No? But our people are getting used to it kasi in November, world leaders are coming for the Leaders Summit ng ASEAN. We hosted the World Volleyball Championship last year, ngayon naman yung ASEAN. So even yung ating from the ushers to the security, to the officials, to the PNP who's helping us with all of the security, we're becoming a nation that knows how to become a good host.
Yeah. Sir, last na, sorry. Chairman Ramirez, so this is good news for athletes kasi siguradong mapapadami ang international exposure para to get our athletes in really good shape to hope to win the overall championship, right, Mr. Cojuangco, for in the next 2 years after this SEA Games.
There are many phases of victory here. Before the athletes, there will be thousands, if not millions, of Filipinos getting mobilized to help the hosting, the volunteers from the college to the professionals, and the whole country in unison of cheering our athletes. That's one big celebration for the country in the midst of many problems. And to my mind, just to answer your question a while ago about Rizal Memorial, when we say no to leaving Rizal Memorial because of its priceless history, sports history, memories of our athletes since 1924, it would depend totally on the resolutions of the meeting. If we would like to use Rizal, then we would immediately rehabilitate. So it would depend on the discussion in the coming days. So everything, venues, and other preparation will depend on the discussion.
Sana. Parang elevate yung Rizal ng konti.
Thank you, Chairman. Nick Jonko again of Quality.
One more thing, Chairman. So since kayo PSC is the government, what do you expect to receive or to get from the POC regarding the hosting kung ano mga kailangan by the end of the year? Ano na-expect niyo to achieve by the end of the year?
Well, we just realized that when we spend every single centavo of government, tax people's money, there has to be performance. But at any rate, if our notion, if our measurement is based on performance, we do not know what will happen in a sports competition. That's why the basis of our victory must not only be based on medals, but also be based on our attitude, our driven spirit to win, our Filipino spirit to be on top of there. Because for me, as a former athlete and a coach and a leader, I don't look at medal as the only standard of winning. Even if we come number 2, number 3, and the whole country saw the fighting spirit, the teamwork, the spirit of the Filipino athletes, for me, this is already victory.
Final question? Another question.
Sir, by the end of this year towards January, ano po bang in place na kaya? As far as the preparation, ano kaya dapat na by January, dapat nang merong nagawa? Namin, paperwork or anything?
For me, we are going to finish our budget. We have other sources of budget. We don't look at the budget as a problem. Of course, the leadership of Secretary Cayetano and the prestige of POC will be able to attract funding and preparation. So the more critical aspect is about the leadership and the quality of teamwork and the clarity of assignment of the organizing committee, from the transparency of budget to the clarity of rules of each people working, the menus, the security, and other basic aspect of running the hosting. There is, for me, there are two phases of the coins here when the good Senator, now Secretary Cayetano, taking the chairmanship. We don't want that it will fail, because if he is going to fail, the President will fail and the country will fail. So for me, as the Chairman of the Philippine Sports Commission, we will give our best that all the support that we can give to the leadership of Secretary Cayetano will be there. Regardless whether we agree or disagree, or difference, whatever, but in the spirit of purity of sports, it's about life, it's about cooperation, it's about unity, it's about the celebration, and one is, as a people of the Philippines, if hosting 2019 will be a focal point of unity among politicians, among businessmen, etc., I think it will be a big celebration, big success for the country. And that's my focus, that this hosting will not go to waste. Sayang naman kung isang senador, politiko, doing secretary position sa foreign affairs, pupunta lang siya rito at magkagulo buhay niya. And I don't think so as a PSA chairman, on the same manner of the leaders of PSA na we will work together to fail. So, but of course, we need a lot of help, especially from the communication and information. You are very positive to us, and you are helpful to us. You know, the whole world will see that the Philippines really has this greatness as a country, not only during those times when country was built up during the 1995 Constitution. So, malaking bagay ito sa pananaw ko, malaking bagay ang hosting. That's why, in spite of our pivotal changes, there are many good things awaits for us in the hosting. And of course, we are hoping that we will become number one. We will not allow that when we aspire to become, we don't want to be number two in the hosting. The POC knows well the strategy there, that there are privileges given to the host. And we will take advantage of that, and we will perform well.
Second to the last question coming from Peter Atencio of Manila Standard.
Good morning, sirs. Would like to find, would you tell us kung ano po yung napagkasundoan kagabi, sir, kung meron man? What arrangements were discussed last night?
Everything's very preliminary. We were actually more talking about, so it's been, last night? 2 nights already. Basically, diba, you know, getting some ground rules among ourselves, and I asked the two gentlemen beside me kung acceptable ako sa kanila to, you know, to help, no? Realistically, kasi kung lalong gugulo pag nandiyan ako. So, when we got that out of the way, it's more of yung aspirational, no? What do we want to achieve? How do we get there? Tapos, the two gentlemen beside me have massive experience pagdating sa sports. So both of them assured me na yung iba dyan, ano na, di kahon na dyan. Yung iba, it's more of deciding, pero nandyan na yan. No? But I think one significant thing is really how enthusiastic we are for the athletes. Because while on one hand, magko-compete yung funding nito for the funding for the 2020 Olympics, tandaan natin na sa ibang bansa, may grassroots sports program sila. Pangalawa, sa ibang bansa, throughout the year, may suporta yung kanilang athletes. Pangatlo, marami silang professional sports na pupuntahan, kaya yung donors or yung endorsement, normal na. Sa atin, ilang tao lang ang tinatap parate. You know this more than I do. So, we're excited that our athletes will have 2 years to prepare. Of course, they're competing now. Then they have 2 years to prepare. And then, iba kasi yung may labang ka bago yung main event. So, bago sa Olympics, meron kang laban ng 2019. Then, let me give you an example, volleyball. No? Dalawa ang liga natin ng volleyball. And to the fans, they don't care which liga yun. Basta they love volleyball, they love both leagues, they love the players. But nung binisita ko sila sa Okayama, kung saan nag-training, kitang-kita mo na yung kalaban nilang team plays together all the time. yung national team natin, nabubuo lang, whether Gilas yan, or whether sa volleyball or yung iba, they only play together pag malapit na yung laban eh. So ngayon na meron 2 years to prepare, yun ang medyo exciting sa amin. So that's why, you know, we can't promise na ganito ang mananalo, ganito ang medalya, but yung confidence that pag ang team is really a team, no, and acts like a team, yung gelling nila, yung bonding nila nandun, no. So it will also enable all of the NSAs to have a longer period of time to prepare and take care of their athletes. So don't get us wrong, ang daming kailangan i-prepare, pero number 1 dyan, yung athletes natin. So kailangan yung suporta sa kanila, hindi pag nanalo na sila ng gold medal. Yung importanteng suporta nila starting today.
Thank you, Secretary. Final question from Alvin Cardona of Daily Tribune.
Hi, sir. I'll take the cue from Secretary Cayetano's statement. My question is for Congressman, POC President Kong Piping. You came in triumphantly. No? We won the 2005 overall championship, but credit is also due to the past president, no, si Sito Daily. He had 5 years to prepare for this. You had 12 years plus 2 more years, that's 14 years. Can we, or do we have a chance of repeating as overall champions? Kasi medyo, with due respect, no, medyo downhill tayo since that, well, wala naman tayong pupuntahan ng iba. Nag-overall champion tayo noong 2005, naglalaro tayo sa 6, 7, 8. What are the chances of the NSAs working for that ultimate goal for 2019?
Well, if you look at the situation very well, you will find your answer. We won the 2005 Overall Championship, but the succeeding commission, Philippine Sports Commission, decided to limit the athletes to be supported from 1,000 to 200. And that lasted all the way through the time that that commission was there. It was only the entry of the new commission again that we were able to get invite more athletes to be trained. But at the same time, if you, I don't know, I might be sounding like a broken record, but I've been crying for a training center. How can we train athletes in Rizal Memorial and Ultra when even you can check yourself from the experts how much pollution is involved, both of them? That people have to go to Baguio just to breathe some fresh air. You know, and these are factors that can make or break an athlete. And that's why I will also point out, you know, I'm experimenting in Malaysia. We're trying to get some money, and so that we hired a caterer there to serve Filipino food. I don't know how many athletes we can feed there, but we will feed at least maybe one day a meal or something like that to the athletes. Otherwise, our athletes will be eating really very spicy food. I don't know how many of you have eaten spicy food, and how many of us can take it. I can't take it. After a couple of days in Malaysia, Indonesia, or Thailand, I end up eating hamburger. But that is the situation we have at the moment. That's why whenever we talk about an opportunity like this, where we build up some facilities in Clarkfield, in Subic, and in Zambales, and things like that, I'm looking forward already that some of these facilities will remain, will become a center of the training center that we are looking for. And with the experts now that we're getting, I think you will see a big difference in our athletes. Let's not blame the athletes, let's not blame the coaches or the leadership. There's no one to blame here. I think we should even encourage our athletes for having done so well in spite of the difficulties that they've been facing. I just came from Thailand. They showed me one of the 4 training centers that they have. Believe me, this one that I saw, it looked like a resort rather than a training center. Facilities were first class, the equipment was first class, air conditioned, the works. The works, you know, and if you look at what our athletes are getting and what the athletes that we're we're fighting and getting. We should give more credit to our athletes. That's why, and that's what Chairman Ramirez also says. Don't look at the gold medals. Don't look at the medals. Look at the performance of athletes. Look at the fighting spirit that they show. And that's unfortunate because the only thing that many of the kababayans of our athletes get to see is natalo sila, debacle sila. But all the time, these athletes have been devoting all their time and their whole life trying to win medals for us. We were not able to give them what they need. For the first time, the PSC and POC have been asking all the athletes to have their blood tested. The mere fact that we don't even know their red blood cells and hemoglobin, which is the best source of transporting the oxygen over the body, we never took that. It's only now that both the chairman of the PSC and I agree that we should take the blood test for athletes. I don't know if we were able to get all, because you know how expensive it is to have a blood test. Philippine General Hospital gave us a special rate for that. So I think once and for all, let's keep in mind that we must, like what the chairman, new chairman of the organizing committee is saying, that we have to look at the athlete. Let's not look at anything else. Let's look at the athlete. And if you can all work together so that, well, we can all push to give the athletes what they need. Then after that, and the results are still the same, then we can start commenting.
Okay. Shift ko yung question ngayon kay Chairman Ramirez. You were also at the helm of the PSC when we won the overall championship. Okay? You were the commissioner.
Repeat, Chairman.
No. Commissioner first during the preparations and then chairman when we won it.
Yeah.
You've seen how we prepared for that year. Comparatively, ano yung mga nagawa? Ano yung kulang? Ano yung nagawa na? Ano pa yung pwedeng gawin? At saan kayo pwedeng sumobra? Doon sa 2 years na natitira sa inyo. Because I don't think you have that time to prepare.
To be frank, I didn't have the experience how to be part of the organizing committee. And perhaps it was not difficult to me to be a CEO of that organization. Now that I have experience as chairman and on my visits to other institutes and my readings, it's difficult, Mr. Cardona. But one thing missing, which had been discussed last night by the good secretary, was I think we have to first take good care of the leadership traits of this core group, our character, our commitment, and the kind of values we are in, because one of the missing link, perhaps, this is my personal opinion, that many of us don't know each other when we ran the 2005 Southeast Asian Games. Now, many things have changed. The other country have learned a lot with all their support. It is extremely important for Secretary Cayetano first to sit down with us, maybe for a few days, to set where we are going, what are the requirements, what are the strengths and the weaknesses, what are the needs. So I think with this leadership, I think there is a great change on the kind of activities we had in 2005. And I'm very positive that, and I think Hong Piping also with his experience, both of us, I think if this is by chance, by luck, because I never thought of coming back to PSC, and here comes again. And as I age, Mr. Katun, I feel that there is somebody bigger than me as guiding that in the midst of many problems. Southeast Asia Game 2019 might be a big thing for the country. But to me, even me, I think I will not say I will just keep quiet if really something is wrong and something to be done. I'll be a different Ramirez when we will work together. I was new then from Davao, and these are great people here in Manila, but not this time. So I think that will be good for the organizing committee with the leadership of Secretary Cayetano. Kasi sabi ko kay Secretary, itong pinasukan niya, dalawang mukha eh. The good thing, the positive thing of it, no? And the negative of it, if we fail. And hindi naman pwedeng papasok siya rito that we will fail. So kami naman sa PSA, when we had our board meeting yesterday, we approached this hosting and we will give our best. As a matter of fact, I would like to share this important discussion, very personal, to one of my commissioner, Commissioner Fernandez, that for more than a year, I have not discussed with him about some relationship. But I think for the country, it would be good for us to really set down our differences and maybe good that as we approach 2019, there could be one Philippine team.
Secretary, last question. This is not just about winning medals. This is not just about winning the overall championship. You're with the DFA, marami tayong problema. How are we going to solve everything? Security, transportation, things like those for this event?
Well, a lot of prayer, a lot of hard work, but one step at a time. So I think support that we've always prayed for, we've always looked for is there. Tapos, for one reason or the other, wala naman donor fatigue ngayon eh. Yung mga tumutulong sa sundalo sa Marawi, sa mga tinamaan. Tapos yung nakita namin yung sa hosting ng ASEAN Senior Women's Volleyball, nandun yung mga, tapos yung fundraising nila for the 2020 Tokyo. So, you know, the rising income din ng Pilipino, then the pride, and then social media. Tapos kayo sa media, I mean, sports has always been a stabilizing, di ba? So, minsan ayaw mo nang basahin yung front page, sa dami ng problema. Pero nasa gitna man o nasa likod yung sports. Or even sa TV, tignan nyo yung rating. Pag yung entertainment sports na, mas mataas na kaso dun sa hard news. Eh. That's why I mentioned soft diplomacy. Ang nagturo din sa akin yan si FBR, si President Ramos, sabi niya, sometimes hindi nyo makuha sa formal meeting. Pumanat ka. Isang suggestion niya, karaoke, hindi naman ako marunong kumanta. So, but sports, diba, who doesn't love sports? No? So, we're very hopeful, but we really, tama po yung sinabi ng two gentlemen here who are leading Philippine sports. A lot of hard work ahead of us.
Last question.
Sir?
From Maki Pulido.
Hi, sir. Sorry
GMA.
Sorry, sir, coming in from the booth. You said kasi that President Duterte changed his mind. I'm not familiar about this issue. Kaya humahabol lang ako.
Chair Butch can be the one to,
okay. Pero
prevent
bakit, sir, initially, bakit ayaw ni President Duterte? Have you been pushing for the hosting of the SEA Games 2019 and initially inayawan ni President?
Siguro before I give it to Chairman Butch, I talked to the Executive Secretary this morning. No, there were concerns nung umpisa. Remember when this decision was made, mas mainit pa yung situation sa Marawi. Every day we were finding more foreign fighters there. Although successful yung pag-host nung April nung leaders summit ng ASEAN, leaders yon, pero ilan din na. Eto, ilan libong athletes, trainers, tourists ang pupunta. So that was one factor. No? And then obviously there was also a factor, as Kuya Bud said nga, no? yung bonding, yung mga pag-uusapan, paano gagawin natin, diba? Then of course funding is always a concern, but yun ang nagustuhan ko kay Chairman Butch, even nung may decision na wag ituloy, hindi niya tinigil yung paghanap ng funding. I don't know if it's just innate in him to never say die like our athletes, or part of his heart gusto din maituloy. But basically, it was a consensus of a cabinet cluster with some other members, no, who told us. Presidente naman, basta't mabuti sa Pilipinas, gusto niya. Pero he doesn't like taking risk of other people's lives, yung kung sarili niyang buhay. But see, let's hear from Chairman Butch.
But did the President, sir, initially rejected the idea?
Hindi pa ako kasali doon eh. So, mas alam ko.
When we came over July 2015, the first week, Kung Piping talked to me that if we could host 219, and I'll talk to the President. So you're the president, when you are the head of the agency, he rely on you, your capability, your experience, etc. So it took us a long time to appoint a chairman. Through Secretary Bongo, Secretary Jaldia, we appointed in coordination. There was a chairman, previously Chairman Rosaville. And after that, there was this development in Marawi and a few other issues. So again, worried about Marawi and security and other aspects. So the letter, the very short letter that I sent to competing was that we are not pushing the 219, but we are not closing the possibility of hosting. So until a few days, there are through Facebook, newspapers, there are people who really wanted to host. Some presidents of the NSA, track and field, fencing, boxing, and others na sayang naman chairman, hindi matuloy. And all other feedbacks. And I think PMS was asking the reason why. So in constant communication, 2 days before, Secretary Bong called my attention, we can have lunch. So when we had a lunch, there was a cluster of cabinet members discussing the possibility of hosting. And Secretary Bongo, representing the president, asking me, Sir Butch, pwede pa bang matuloy? And pinagpatuloy ni Secretary Cayetano, Kuya Butch, pwede ba? Why not? So, yun lang. And then, nakikinig na lang yung ibang cabinet kasi baka wala namang problema sa discussion namin. So, after that, the problem starts. So, Secretary Cayetano is trying to reach out to Ping, talking, others. So, eto na, dumating sa announcement. So, after this announcement, I think the President is aware of what's going on, even last night. I think they have been calling the President that this is the direction that the Philippines is taking.
Sir, last na po.
Yes.
Sorry pero we have to talk about money.
Yes.
We don't have enough for your athletes. That's why, they have barely minimum support. And now you're hosting SEA Games. So, magkano po ba talaga yung pera for your athletes? Magkano for your infra? Just to prepare for this kind of event.
I would like to correct that notion that the government through the Philippine Sports Commission is not helping and it's not enough. Whether you're a rich or poor country, money is always a problem. By our research, the athletes are receiving allowances every month. We are funding their foreign trips. We are funding other requirements through the NSAs. Even if there are problems, we continue to stand by this commitment. It is true the problem is sports facilities because Rizal Memorial Sports Complex had been there for almost 90 years. But however, the athletes are not devoid of training on other sports facilities. Because if you are a member of the national team, your focus, more than 50% is foreign exposure on the sports science. If you are a grassroots sports program, developmental sports, you need sports facilities in the country. But again, it would be good for us to have an ideal sports training center. Now, money. The government, the GAA, the General Appropriation Act, allocate money for the hosting. Then whatever its deficiency, we have other sources. Now, aside from the fact that Presidential Dennis Oy, the Presidential Advisor on Sports, is also raising funds up to Olympics. So plus of course the presidents of POC.
And we met him last
night. We met last night. So I don't think so money is a problem. The problem is how to perform, how to become #1 on 219. And of course other requirement, structures, and other facilities. But we don't look at it as a problem because we barely see each other with Mr. Cojuangco in 2005. We were able to succeed. Now with the leadership of Secretary Cayetano and in the midst of wanting to become #1, I think the percentage is very, very great. And we don't look at money as a problem at the moment because the Filipinos will come. And we have when I was asked by Secretary Bongo and Secretary Cayetano, do we have the money? I said yes.
Can I add one point now? Well, the details will follow kasi mag-meet lang kami. As kanina, sinabi ko lang, magsaset siguro kami minimum at maximum. Kasi dun sa maximum, syempre, if we can put up all of these facilities that will help our athletes in the future and also attract some sports tourism, or yung mga magte-train dito na may mga harsh winters. Having said that, let me also say lang na this hosting and any sports event fits very much with the anti-drug campaign. Kasi ang mga kabataan, kailangan may activity, may ginagawa. So although yung chatting at saka social media na exercise yung daliri mo at mata mo, di ba? Iba yung live yung interaction eh. Iba yung may nagagawa. So talk to anyone, kagawad, barangay captain, SK, nawala ngayon, but congressman, governors, mayors, ex-public officials. Parang minsan magsabing, ba't ka gagawa ng basketball court? No to drugs ka to no to drugs. Tapos, wala namang pupuntahan yung mga youth. I'm not saying they should do drugs if there's no sports program. I'm saying this just all fits. And if we can do it successfully in these 3 provinces, Bulacan, Zambales, and Pampanga, it'll be a model that you can do in others. So sa Northern Luzon, Southern Luzon, different islands in Visayas, and then later on also in Mindanao. And kung makikita mo, growing talaga yung yung funding for sports, even yung endorsements. Diba, if we were talking in 2005, halos basketball lang ang may endorsements. So ngayon, whether it's football, billiards, of course, boxing, volleyball, and other sports, meron na rin nag-endorse, meron na rin pumupondo. So we're confident. It's going to be hard work, but we're confident that the money will be there. Then the last point is, it's not how much, it's worth it ba? Diba? Kasi even if 1 peso lang yan, pero yung paglalagyan mo is not worth it, sayang yung pera. Pero kahit na 1 billion yan o 5 billion, kung worth it talaga, no? And remember, kung sa Clark nga matutuloy, no? A lot of people still do not know about the number of international flights and the new incoming and outgoing na mga flights sa Clark, no? So pag na-feature to, imagine in all the participating countries, naka-TV yan every day. Yeah. So baka yung gastusin natin, Chair Butch at President Putin, baka kung magkano lang gagastusin mo kung i-advertise mo ang Pilipinas abroad. Kasi di ba mahal din yung, well, taga-Channel 7 kayo, alam niyo kung gaano kamahal yung 30 seconds sa ibang stations, no, sa 5 at saka sa 2. But imagine if we have to advertise on CNN, BBC, on the different networks around ASEAN and around the world. No? Pero kapag maganda yung hosting natin, tapos maganda yung mga pinapakita, it's just like the Miss Universe. But yung Miss Universe is one big event, then maybe a few sub-events. Ito, 400 events. No? So imagine the potential.
Thank you. As I said, Kong still has a flight to catch. So at this point, we're going to turn over the appointment paper of Secretary Cayetano, formally accepting the chairmanship of the SEA Games Organizing Committee, and Chairman Butch Ramirez handing the jacket to signify his acceptance.
Can we invite all the sports writers to unite with the triumvirate of sports leaders there in one big photo opportunity?
Wow!
Diba? Lahat ng sports writers. Kasi kayo magsusulat eh.
Siguro kami, no?
Hindi, pwede. Nakatayo, and then the sports writers.
Sa Digit sila eh.
Yes.
Yun mo ng turnover. Just point. Just that point.
Yan.
Coming here.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless us.
Have a safe trip.
Pleasure.